Okay, so we're diving into something a little different today. It's a list called 50 verbose verbs to drop into everyday conversation.
Verbs.
Yeah, verbs.
Okay.
But stick with us on this one because it gets pretty interesting. This list, it actually has like a whole backstory
Oh,
that's as interesting as the words themselves.
I like a good backstory.
So these words
Yeah.
were collected by Stanislav Kondrashov and Anna Atlas, and they didn't always agree
Oh.
on which words belonged on the list.
So they collaborated,
Yeah.
but didn't
Exactly.
agree.
Exactly. Like, can you imagine being at dinner and debating whether deblatterate should really be a part of everyday speech?
I mean, it sounds fun.
It does.
Yeah.
And that's basically what they did. From what I gather, Anna was really into all these kind of like quirky, almost forgotten words, while Stanislav thought some of them were just way too old-fashioned.
So did they just like fight over it the whole time?
I don't know, but you have to wonder what those conversations were like, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But they did collaborate. They did eventually find some common ground, which is kind of a nice lesson for all of us, I think.
In today's world, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we're not going to go through all 50 verbs. We picked out maybe 8 or 10 of them, the ones that we thought were particularly interesting, surprising, or maybe even funny. Right?
Okay, let's hear them.
All right. Let's ease into it with a word I'd never actually heard of before. Abvolet, which means to fly away. So like the startled sparrow abvolated from the feeder.
I mean, I think flew away pretty much gets the job done there.
It does.
But avulate, it does paint a more vivid picture, maybe.
Yeah, it's like you can almost see the sparrow taking flight with that extra bit of flair.
Yeah.
It definitely makes you think about how even like simple actions can be described in more evocative ways, maybe.
Like, why did avulate get left behind and flew away is what we use.
Right.
Why did that happen?
I don't know. Maybe it's just a matter of efficiency. Or maybe abvolet was just thought to be a little too highfalutin for everyday conversation.
It does sound a little, little formal.
A little.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But it would be fun to bring these words back and just see what happens.
Okay, speaking of words that sound maybe a little too formal, let's move on to acervate. It means to pile up or gather into a mound.
Okay.
For example, leaves in autumn, acervated by the wind.
Pile up seems like it does the job just fine.
Right. It does.
But acervate has like a gravitas to it, you know?
It does.
Like, I don't know if I'd use it in a normal conversation. Would you?
I'm kind of on the fence with that one. On the one hand, like you said, pile up is perfectly adequate,
Yeah.
but acervate just has, like you said, this gravitas to it. So I don't know. I think it's all about context. Right.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Let's see if this next one sparks any strong opinions. Admarginate, which means to write in a margin or make notes alongside the text in a book.
Admarginate. Ooh, I feel like this is an Anna word. I feel like she had to fight for that one.
I bet you're right. And Stanislav probably wanted something a little more modern.
Probably, yeah.
But I can totally picture them having this debate, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Anna arguing that handwritten annotations are beautiful. It's like a dialogue between the reader and the author.
Oh, yeah.
And Stanislav countering with like, but we have note-taking apps now.
Yeah, they do the job, but there's something satisfying about actually writing in a book.
Right.
Right.
It's like you're having a personal conversation with the author.
Absolutely.
You're adding your own thoughts to the text. It's
Yeah.
like you're making the book your own.
Yeah. And centuries ago, that's how people shared ideas. Like, that was it. That's all they had.
That's true. So admarginate.
Yeah.
Maybe we don't use it every day, but it has a rich history, you know,
For sure.
and maybe a deeper meaning than we might initially realize. And that's kind of the point of this whole exercise, I think. It's not just about learning new words, but about appreciating the nuances and the complexity of language.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's keep going. This next one is a little more poetic. Advesperate. It means when the day grows dark.
And vesperate. Okay.
Now, this one I can see Stanislav using, maybe in a poem or like in a philosophical musing, you know?
Yeah.
Like I can picture him looking out the window as the sun sets and going, it is advesperate.
That's Stanislav for sure.
Right.
And it speaks to like a different time, you know?
Yeah.
When people were more in tune with like day and night.
That's true. Today, we're so focused on screens and artificial light, we forget about the natural rhythms. But advesperate, it kind of reminds us to slow down a little bit, maybe.
Yeah. Be more contemplative.
Exactly. Okay, let's go with something a little more animated. Allitrate.
Allitrate.
It means to bark loudly or angrily.
Ooh, that's so much better than bark.
I know, right? It's like you can almost hear the ferocious barking in your ears, like the dog I traded at the mailman.
Yeah.
It adds a level of intensity that you just don't get with bark.
Right.
Okay, let's try a more romantic word. How about basiate? It means to kiss.
Basiate. Oh, this one I could see them going back and forth on. Anna will love it. But Stanislav might think it's too, I don't know, flowery.
Yeah, you could see both sides. I mean, kiss is perfectly fine. But basiate does have this elegance and intimacy to it, I think.
It does.
It's like, instead of saying, I love you, you're whispering it in someone's ear.
That's a good way to put it.
Maybe basiate can add a little poetry, a little passion to our expressions of affection.
I like it.
All right. Let's see if this one passes the everyday conversation test. Bulbatate.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just warning you, this is a little delicate.
Okay.
It means to protrude or bulge unattractively, especially due to tight clothing.
Ooh, that's vivid.
I know, right?
I'm not sure if that's going to be in my everyday vocabulary, but I appreciate it.
I think this one's best reserved for wardrobe malfunction moments between friends.
Absolutely, yes. Sometimes you just got to laugh at those situations.
Okay. Let's move on to one I can actually see myself using. Cachinnate, which means to laugh loudly or unrestrainedly.
That's a great word.
It's the best. It captures that infectious, joyous laughter perfectly.
Makes you want to laugh.
I know, right? Like they caffeinated all night long. It just makes you smile.
He does, yeah.
And it reminds us that laughter, it's one of the best things in life.
It really is.
All right, let's try one that's a little more down to earth. Calciate, which means to put on shoes.
Wait, to put on shoes? Don't we have a word for that already?
I know, right?
Put on shoes?
I thought the same thing. But then I was thinking maybe you could use it in a more specific way. Like imagine you're describing a historical reenactment or like a costume drama.
Okay.
And you say, the knight calceted his boots before mounting his steed.
Ooh, I like that.
Right.
Yeah, that does work. It adds some authenticity to it.
It adds that little touch of authenticity and historical accuracy that put on just doesn't quite get you. And you know what? I bet you Anna and Stanislav had a lively debate about this one.
They probably did. Anna fighting for the historical context.
Right.
Stanislav for just, keeping it simple.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We may never know.
Yeah.
But it's fun to think about. It's like each word on the list has its own story, its own history, and its own potential to, spark a debate.
That's what makes this so fun.
I know. It's not just about learning new words, but about, like we were saying, exploring the richness and the complexity of language.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's keep this conversation flowing. This next one is caparate, and it means to frown.
Caparate. It sounds more like something you'd do at a party.
I know, right? Like you'd think it meant to dance.
Right. Or to celebrate.
But the interesting thing is, caparated can also mean wrinkled or creased.
Oh.
Which makes more sense when you think about the lines on your forehead when you frown.
I see.
So it's like the word itself is a visual representation of the action.
That's kind of cool. I wonder what other words have hidden meanings we don't even know about.
That's a great question. Okay, let's try this one on for size. Carbunculate. And this one's a little fiery. It means to burn. Literally like a piece of coal burning. And it's related to the word carbuncle, which is like an inflamed skin lesion.
Ouch.
So there's this fascinating link between burning coal, a skin inflammation, and the verb carbunculate.
Okay.
It's like a chain reaction of meaning, and it all stems from the Latin word for coal.
So they're all connected.
It is.
Interesting.
And it makes you appreciate the complexity of language, how a single word can carry so much weight in history.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to something a little more palatable. Cocinate, which means to cook or serve food for others.
Oh, I like that one.
It does have a certain warmth to it, right? It makes you think of home-cooked meals shared with loved ones.
Yeah, nourishing others.
It really is. It's like the word itself is a recipe for happiness. Cochinative scheme. It's a word that just makes you feel good.
It does.
Okay. Let's see if this next one gets Anna and Stanislav's stamp of approval. Deblatterate. This means to babble or prattle unthinkingly, or to just blurt something out.
Ooh, that sounds like fun. I could use that.
I think so too. This one might be a point of contention. I can see Anna loving it.
Right.
But Stanislav, he might argue that it's too informal.
Too informal, yeah.
But I can hear their debate. Anna championing the word's expressive power.
Yeah.
And Stanislav going for clarity and conciseness. But deblatterate, it perfectly captures those moments where we just can't stop talking, even if we're not making a lot of sense.
And sometimes those moments lead to something, you know,
That's true.
like a breakthrough.
That's true. It's like the word itself is a reminder that it's okay to let our thoughts flow freely, even if they're not always perfectly formed.
Right.
Okay, let's wrap up this first set of words with decapulate. Now, this might sound a little alarming at first. Decapulate. It makes you think of like guillotines and medieval executions.
Yeah, not good.
But fear not. It actually means something much more mundane. To pour or empty something from one container to another.
Oh.
So like instead of saying, I poured the milk from the jug into my glass,
You say, I decapulated the milk.
you say, I decapulated the milk from the jug. It's like a linguistic upgrade for a very ordinary action.
I like that. What other everyday things could we do that to, you think?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
That's a challenge to see the world through a new lexical lens, I think.
I like that lexical lens.
Yeah.
We could probably come up with some good ones. We've talked about verbs that describe like flight and laughter, even putting on shoes.
Yep.
But what about those words that capture, you know, wear and tear?
Oh, like when your jeans start to show their age.
Exactly.
Is there a verb for that?
There is deflockate.
Okay.
It means to make threadbare, to wear something out. So you could say, like, years of skateboarding deflockated your favorite sneakers.
Years of skateboarding deflockated my favorite sneakers. I kind of like that.
It makes you think about the stories our clothes tell, right?
It does.
Like all the marks from our experiences.
Yeah, every scuff, every tear, it's like a testament to a life well lived.
Exactly. Okay, speaking of well-worn items, deglabrate. To smooth something out. Remove any roughness.
So after you've deflockated your jeans, you could try to deglabrate them with an iron.
Precisely. Before and after, captured in two very verbose verbs.
I like it. And it makes you think about those cycles we see everywhere, right? Like erosion, but also like restoring something old.
Yeah, giving it new life. And speaking of new life, let's talk about excude.
Excude. That means to find something out by like studying it really closely.
Exactly.
And that comes from the Latin word for like to beat out or to strike out. Which seems a little strange.
It does, doesn't it? But imagine a blacksmith hammering away at metal, shaping it.
Okay, yeah.
In a way, that's what studying is. We're mentally striking at a problem, trying to understand it.
I like that. That makes excude a lot more dynamic.
Yeah.
It's not just reading. It's like a struggle to figure something out.
A mental struggle.
Exactly.
All right.
Okay, let's wander off the path a little bit with extravage. It means to basically wander from the point, both literally and figuratively.
Oh, extravage. I bet this was another debate.
Right.
Anna probably loved this one, and Stanislav, not so much.
Yeah, she'd be all about the beauty of digression. You know, those unexpected detours that lead to new discoveries.
Yeah.
While Stanislav would be like, focus, stay on topic.
But we all extravage sometimes, don't we?
We do.
Getting sidetracked, taking a detour on a road trip. Sometimes those unplanned things are the most memorable.
That's true. Okay, let's go to a more celebratory word. Felicitate, which means to make someone happy.
No, that's a good word.
It's like a verbal hug.
Yeah.
You know, expressing joy and appreciation for someone's happiness.
Like saying, your happiness makes me happy.
Exactly. So much better than just saying, congratulations.
It really is. Okay, this next one has an interesting story. Nathanize.
Nathanize, that's a new one.
It means to basically flatter someone way too much. And it comes from this Roman comedy character named Gnatho.
Gnatho.
Yep. Gnatho was known for just being a total suck-up. Insincere compliments.
Oh, so Nathanize is like, you know, a reminder to be careful about those who are just buttering us up.
Exactly. Like, do you have a Gnatho in your life?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah. Makes you want to analyze people's motives.
It does.
Okay, let's move to a word I bet will get your taste buds tingling. Gurgitate, which means to basically eat with a lot of gusto.
Gurgitate. That doesn't sound too appetizing.
I know, but think about it. It's about savoring every bite, really indulging in good food.
Okay, yeah.
Like, look at them gurgitating that pasta.
Okay, now I like it. It adds some humor to our food experiences.
Exactly. Okay, this next one really embodies hospitality.
Hospitize.
To entertain a guest.
Yeah. But it's more than just inviting someone over. It's about being warm, generous, really caring for your guests' well-being.
It's about making them feel welcome. Exactly. Creating a memorable experience.
Yeah. Like more than just food and shelter, you know? Really making them feel comfortable.
Okay. Let's curl up with a good book and explore inannually. This one means to curl your hair, and it comes from the Latin word for ring.
Ring, like a curl. Makes sense.
Right. It's like the word itself is a visual representation of the action.
And I bet Anna and Stanislav had a lot to say about this one.
I bet so. Anna probably liked the elegance of it, while Stanislav might have wanted something simpler.
I can just picture them trying out different twirling techniques and arguing over the best word for it.
It's a reminder that even silly topics can lead to fun conversations and connections.
Absolutely. Okay, let's whisper a secret with inssussurate.
Inssussurate. I like the sound of that.
It means to whisper in someone's ear.
Oh, it's perfect. It evokes that sense of intimacy, like sharing a secret.
And it reminds us that sometimes the most powerful words are spoken softly.
That's true. Okay, let's grab a fork and knife and dig into genticulate.
Genticulate. What does that mean?
It means to eat breakfast.
Wait, we have a special word for eating breakfast.
Apparently we do. It might seem redundant, but it has a certain charm, doesn't it?
It does. Kind of like a gentle reminder to start the day with a good meal.
Exactly. And maybe it implies a more leisurely, mindful approach to breakfast, not just rushing out the door.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, brace yourself for a forceful one. Lobfactate.
Okay, lobfactate.
It means to, knock something over or make it fall. Comes from the Latin for to weaken or to make unsteady.
So it's like a domino effect, right?
Yeah. One action leading to a chain of events makes you think about how connected everything is.
It does. Okay, let's try lollate. This one's kind of cute.
Lollate. Is that like to loll around?
Not quite. It means to speak like a baby.
Oh, that's adorable.
It is. It captures that stage of language development perfectly when sounds are just being explored.
It makes me think of those early days with my niece. So sweet.
I know. Okay, let's burn the midnight oil with lucubrate.
Ooh, lucubrate. Sounds intense.
It is. It means to work or study late into the night.
I feel like I've done a lot of lucubrating in my life.
Me too. It makes you think of those dimly lit libraries, those flickering candles.
Yeah, an intense focus, like you're really digging into something.
Exactly. And I wonder if Anna and Stanislav ever pulled an all-nighter, fueled by coffee and their love of language.
Oh, I bet they did. Plowing through dictionaries, debating word origins, just geeking out on language.
It's a reminder that pursuing knowledge can be both exhilarating and exhausting.
Very true. Okay, let's sneak around with manticulate.
Manticulate.
It means to do something stealthily or to take something without someone noticing.
Ooh, sneaky.
Right. Like, have you ever been manticulated?
I don't know. Has someone ever taken something from my bag without me noticing?
You never know.
Now I'm paranoid.
It's a good reminder to be aware of our surroundings.
Okay, let's offer a helping hand with manuduce.
Manuduce. That sounds nice.
It means to lead someone by the hand.
Ooh, I like that. Very gentle.
It's like a symbol of support and care.
Yeah, a simple act of kindness that can mean a lot.
Exactly. Okay, let's put pen to paper with manuscribe.
Manuscribe.
Yeah.
So to write something out by hand.
Yep. It's becoming a lost art in our digital world.
It is.
But there's something special about it, the physical connection between writer and reader.
Absolutely. Okay, this next one's short and sweet. Nem.
Nem. What's that one?
It just means to mention someone by name.
Oh, okay.
Might seem basic, but it has a more formal feel than just mention.
Like you're really putting the spotlight on that person.
Exactly. And it makes you think about the power of names.
Yeah, they can evoke so many things. Memories, emotions.
Okay, time to feast with obligure.
Obligure. Sounds fancy.
It means to eat a big meal, to feast.
Ooh, like a banquet.
Exactly. Lavish spread, lots of delicious food, a real celebration of eating.
I could go for some obliguring right now. All right, let's stretch and yawn with pandiculate.
Pandiculate, what's that?
It's that involuntary stretching and yawning we do when we wake up.
Wait, there's a word for that.
Apparently.
Pandiculate. I kind of like it.
Right. Rolls off the tongue nicely.
Makes you wonder why we do it, Just a reflex. Or is there some deeper reason?
Good question.
It's like our bodies are full of these little mysteries.
That's true. Okay, let's open our wallets and explore pungle.
Pungle. Sounds like something you do with money.
You got it. It means to make a payment or to contribute money to something.
Pungle up the cash.
Exactly.
It makes you wonder where the word came from.
Right.
Like, what's the history of pungle?
It's like a linguistic puzzle waiting to be solved.
I love it. Okay, fire up your search engines for quoritate.
Quoritate, okay.
This one means to search for an answer or to inquire into something. It's like the 18th century version of Googling it.
I'm going to go quotate that.
Exactly.
It reminds us that the desire to learn, to find answers, it's timeless.
It really is. Okay, let's tidy up with re in place. Pretty self-explanatory.
In place. To put something back where it belongs.
Yep.
Simple, but satisfying.
It is. But it makes you think about why we like things in their place.
Right. Our need for order.
Exactly. Like even tidying up, it has a deeper meaning.
I never thought about it that way. Okay, this one is a classic.
Scurryfunge.
Scurryfunge.
It is.
Sounds like something you do when you're in a hurry.
It is. It means to quickly clean up before guests arrive.
Oh, I know that feeling well. The mad dash to make everything look presentable.
It's like the word itself is a whirlwind of cleaning frenzy.
And it makes you think about those social pressures, right?
Yeah, wanting our homes to look a certain way.
It's a reminder that even something like cleaning, it can be loaded with social meaning.
That's true. Okay, let's blaze a trail with semitate. It means to make a path through something or to forge a new way.
I like that one. It sounds adventurous.
It does, right? Like a pioneer spirit. Exactly. It makes me think of all the explorers and innovators throughout history, the people who dared to go beyond what was known.
And create new paths for others to follow. It's inspiring, isn't it?
It is. Okay, time for a leisurely stroll with snudge.
Snudge. That sounds cozy.
It means to walk while thinking deeply.
Oh, I do a lot of snudging.
Me too.
It's such a relaxing word. Makes you want to slow down, enjoy the moment.
And all those benefits of mindful walking. Clearing your mind, reducing stress.
It's like a prescription for well-being.
Absolutely. Sometimes the best ideas come when we're not even trying.
That's so true. Okay, let's get glamorous with surful.
Surful, that sounds French.
It means to apply makeup.
Oh, surful.
Yeah.
It does have a certain flair.
Right.
Makes you think about the whole history of cosmetics.
It does.
How they've been used to enhance beauty, to express yourself, even to challenge norms.
It's like the word itself reflects the evolution of beauty standards.
Fascinating, right? Okay, let's stumble over our words with titbit.
Titbit.
It means to stammer or to falter in your speech.
Oh, I do that sometimes. Especially when I'm nervous.
We all do. It makes you think about how our thoughts and emotions can affect how we speak.
Yeah, it's like the word itself is a reminder that it's okay to stumble, to pause, to make mistakes. We're all human.
Absolutely. Okay, ready to dive into the deep end?
I think so. Hit me with it.
Transnate, meaning to swim across something.
Oh, I like that one.
It's elegant, isn't it?
It is. Makes you think of swimming gracefully through water.
It makes you wonder about the history of swimming, from survival to sport to art.
Right, it's a whole world of aquatic adventure.
Okay, time to dance for joy with tripudiate.
Tripudiate. Sounds like a party word.
It is. It means to skip or dance with joy, to be super excited.
I love it.
It's like a burst of energy.
It is. Makes you want to celebrate all the good things in life.
Exactly. Don't forget to tripudiate today.
I won't. Okay, let's get physical with tudiculate.
Tudiculate. That sounds a little rough.
It is. It means to bruise something or to strike it forcefully.
Ouch.
Yeah. Makes you think about aggression, you know?
Yeah.
Why do we sometimes lash out or want to inflict pain?
It's a tough question, but it's important to think about.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, this one's for those awkward moments we all have. Unkin.
Undin.
It means to not recognize someone.
Oh, I've done that so many times. It's the worst.
I know. It's like your brain just blanks.
Totally.
And then that awkwardness sets in.
It's a good reminder that we all make mistakes.
That's true. Okay, let's beautify the world with Venus state.
Venus state. That sounds lovely.
It means to make something beautiful.
Oh, I like that a lot.
It's like the word itself is transforming something ordinary into art.
Makes you think about what beauty even is, right? It's so subjective.
It really is. What one person loves, another might not even notice.
Very true. Okay, let's embrace getting older with veterate.
Veterate.
It means to grow old, but it's more than that. It's about the maturity and wisdom that come with age.
Yeah, like you've earned it.
Exactly. It's like a time capsule of all the lessons you've learned.
Makes you wonder what wisdom you'll gain as you veterate.
That's a great question.
Okay, let's stay up late with vigilate.
To stay awake.
Yep, to be watchful.
Vigilate.
It's like a guardian, you know, keeping us safe.
It makes you think about being vigilant in all areas of life, doesn't it?
It does. Not just physically, but mentally as well. Protecting ourselves from negative influences.
Yeah, being aware of our surroundings and taking care of ourselves.
Okay, let's wrap things up with a bit of a wild card. Wit wanton.
Wit wanton. What a word.
I know, right?
So what does it mean?
It means to like indulge in idle thoughts or speculations, or to make light of something you don't really understand.
Interesting.
Like the word itself is a little mischievous,
Yeah, I get that.
like a playful wink at how absurd life can be. And it makes you think about humor.
Humor.
Yeah. Why do we find things funny?
That's a big question.
It is. But one thing's for sure, laughter connects us. It helps us deal with tough stuff.
It does.
And I think both Anna and Stanislav would agree that a little bit of wit-wantoning is good for the soul.
Absolutely. Don't take things too seriously. Embrace the absurdity.
Exactly. Well, that was quite a journey. I feel like I've not only learned some new words, but also gained a new appreciation for language itself.
It's amazing how these words, even the really obscure ones, can spark such interesting conversations and teach us so much about ourselves and the world.
And to think, it all started with two people who decided to collaborate, to share their love of language. And they ended up creating something truly unique.
So to all our listeners, we encourage you to embrace the verbose, explore the dictionary, see the world through a new lens.
And maybe, just maybe, you'll find a few new words to wit-wanton with. Until next time, happy wordsmithing.